All right, we're going to call this Finance Committee meeting to order. Present are council members Floyd, Cost, Bub, Marmee, and Johnson is sitting in for Frazier. First item on the agenda is a request for appropriation in the amount of $10,782.63.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Barbara is off today, so I'm filling in for her, but this is basically just a reimbursement, that grant that she gets every year that helps out Jeff Hotchkiss to get the summer work done, the mowing and so forth around the city. And this is the reimbursement toward that grant for $10,782.63.
Motion. Second. Motion by Bub, second by Cost. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
One item that I will also just interject, I should have done this to begin with. Right now in the unappropriated balance, if my calculations are correct, we have $35,000 in the unappropriated balance. Okay, next item on the agenda is a request for appropriation in the amount of $30,000.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As spoken before here on maintenance money for our fire trucks, we found ourselves at a lurch again for an unexpected breakdown of 2 fire trucks. We currently have a bill for the repair of our rescue downtown reserve rescue, which is our only reserve apparatus. It spends most of its time in service while others are being maintained. That bill is $28,000. We have yet to pay that. We're down to $14,000 in our maintenance account currently for the remainder of the year for the rest of the entire fleet. So as far as maintenance is concerned with our fire apparatus and our medic units moving forward to the end of the year, it's dire straits at this point. So we've asked for the $30,000 to be pushed into our maintenance account to pay these bills. Will leave us again at about $14,000, maybe $15,000 and some change total for the remainder of the year. There's a high probability with our ladder truck downtown, it is currently broken. It is being assessed for damages currently as far as that we have something going on in the computer system. It is out of service, so we have to have a bill on that truck to pay as well. Don't know exactly what that means moving forward, but that'll eat into that $14,000 that we currently have left. I just want to let you know, to be aware that this $30,000 put into our account right now is going to be used very quickly on a current bill that we have. And then we're going to have to think about the future of trying to get our trucks maintained again and have the money in order to do that. Like I said before, that's why the 0.25 levy, the capital levy, is so important to us right here. We've got a significant need in the age of our fleet currently, and the maintenance costs are astronomical at this point. So we're just trying to keep them on the road so we have apparatus to respond in emergencies. So we respectfully ask for that money to be spent on maintenance of our fire apparatus.
Motion. Motion by Floyd, second by Cost. Any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Sure.
Chief, who does the maintenance? Do you have somebody who does that, or is it?
We do. Depending on the problem, if it's a manufacturing problem, the engineers, specifically, for instance, the ladder truck that's broken right now cannot be fixed locally. Jay's does a lot of our maintenance on our fire apparatus now. However, they are unable to identify what the problem is with our ladder truck right now. So an engineer from a fire truck company has to come in and identify the wiring harnesses and those types of things, which gets expensive. There is no other way around that. There's not many companies locally that do that type of work besides the manufacturer of the trucks. In this sense, it's E1, Emergency One, makes that truck. We have a contractor that works for them that's going to try to work on that problem. Our rescue that just came back from Sutphen Corporation, where it was in Springfield for 2 months, and that was the $28,000 bill where they had to replace, there were pump parts that needed replaced, air system needed updated, replaced, it was leaking air, different things. It's constant problems, troubleshooting issues. When you get into those types of fire trucks, it's expensive to maintain already, and it takes some time to identify the schematics of the truck, where the fittings are and those types of things. So there's time involved, and we all know that they're paid by the hour. So we're caught kind of between a rock and a hard place of where we can get our trucks maintained.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions or comments? Chief, I have one. You mentioned the levy, and so what is the game plan if that does not succeed? We've asked the administration, Mr. Ellington has, he has not heard anything back. So what's kind of the game plan if that is not? And is part-time firefighters still something? I know you had spoken about that, and haven't heard anything on that lately either.
We haven't discussed part-time firefighters. As far as the maintenance coming up, we spend about $80,000 what we're budgeted every year for maintenance. We've overspent that 10 years in a row. Maintenance costs continue to go up, but we're not replacing apparatus like we have been in the past. Where do we go from here if this levy does not pass? It's time for me to say there will be a reduction in service. We'll have less trucks on the road if I can't afford to replace them or repair them. That's just how it goes. That's the money provided will provide the service. I'll do the best job I can with the money that is provided by the city. But at this point, we need additional revenue in order to keep these trucks on the road or replace them in a schedule. That is something that I've worked since I've become chief. It's 2 years now. Try to identify our schedule for replacement, exactly what the mileage is, excuse me, and going by standards and being safe on the road. So there is something it's a very dynamic thing. Are we going to reduce service? It's potential that we will have engines that we can't fix, and we can't put anybody on them. We have one extra engine, which is a reserve. Most of the time, one of the other engines is in service, and it is a frontline engine to replace that for the day or two or week, however long till we get that other engine back. So we really don't have an extra engine just sitting there in case something happens. We always have something always frontline in service. So it's a daily thing. Chief Simmons, who's my physical resources chief, every day we come in, what's broken, how do we get it fixed, what's the money look like, and we're watching our daily expenditures right now. That's why we're back. We originally asked for the $50,000, and this is really, we're going to need more than the 30 I'm asking for tonight. I know it's budget time and money is tight, but we're trying to be at the $30,000 and come back to you when we can to see if we can get through the year. We're doing our very best to try to get that done.
Very good.
I had a quick question.
Yes.
Doug, you brought up, you said there's 35 in the general fund, is that correct?
Correct. In the unappropriated balance, yes.
Okay.
And that's where this will be coming
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, I'm going to support it. I mean, and it's not your fault in this. I do have a concern we're getting low on that general fund money. So it's, it's a concern going in. Again, it's not your fault, where we're at on everything. So I think it's probably a sign that we're not going to be able to, if that levy doesn't pass, we're not going to be able to move that capital improvements budget around anymore, because
Believe me, I think about this every day. I'm worried as well.
So with that, I'll pass. Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion passes 5-0. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much, Chief. Next item on the agenda is a request for appropriation in the amount of $29,077.91. Anyone here to speak about the Jed Z?
I'll try. I'm on the JEDZ2 board.
Okay.
I see Barb and Tim Mercer's name are on this, but obviously the city of Newark is the administrator for the JEDZ1 and JEDZ2 and the JEDZ in Pataskala, or the JED in Pataskala. The administrator for those funds, and it just appears to me that looking this over, this is their third quarter distribution for monies collected. So if you need more detail on that, we would need to get Barb Jobs or Tim Mercer here.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Bub, second by Floyd. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion passes 5-0. And the last item is at the discretion of the chair. I still am wondering when we're going to have a budget review committee. I'm going to state that every single committee meeting and request that we get a date set for that, unless somebody knows when that date is. All right, and with that, this meeting stands adjourned.